What's going on, guys? It's Steeler here, back again with yet another weekly RDX podcast. In fact, our last RDX podcast of 2017. We've got a lot of great topics, and we're not coming back next week. Holidays, people are going to be busy around Christmas time, so it's one day after Christmas. So we do have a phenomenal panel here for you tonight. The usual suspect and some guests. I'm a little rusty, a little tired, but we're going to work through it all day while we're getting some people in here, man. Thanks for joining us, man. Where can people find you?
All Day Digital on Twitter, and all my handles are there under my profile. But yeah, man, let's get it started.
Oh, your handles. K Mega, man, thanks for coming through last minute. Where can people find you, brother?
Oh, man, they can find me on my channel, K Mega 405. Definitely check out the GRG podcast every Friday night, man.
Every Friday night. What time Friday night?
8 o'clock, 8:30 Central.
He's still figuring it out.
Yeah, 9:30. Yeah, I'm still trying to find that start time. Now, we've been starting at 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern, and it's 5:30 Pacific.
And another panel member tonight, Noof Nukem, man, thanks for coming through for me. Where can people find you, brother, before we get into these amazing topics?
Yes, kaboom! Noof Nukeman's up in the RDX podcast room. It is another great night. Excited to get into the topics. I know there's quite a bit to chat about, all that good stuff. And as my good friend Arnold would say, come on, let's do it. Let's go.
What would Colt Eastwood say? Colt Eastwood?
I'd say, get to the chopper. I've been just been trying to play all these games, but every night I get pulled into a PUBG match. So it's been fun, man.
Yeah, it's been
last night. Dealer and All Day and I and Kratos played some PUBG, and we had more laughs than I think we ever got any shots off at anybody. But
oh man. Fun. Yeah, I got ran over. Friendly drive-by running over of me. But hey, I blew him away in the end with the machine gun, so it's fine. We got even, and we got.
I told Dealer to run around the corner. There was a dude shooting Kratos in the fucking back. Dealer runs over there and kills them both.
Yeah, I mean, take no prisoners,
And then Kratos just runs him over with the buggy. Kratos just runs him over with the buggy. Oh, my bad. I didn't know you could get friendly fire.
I didn't know cars kill people. But
I got ran over by Lady Infamous, and then Livewire just took me over in a boat, and we just kept floating, and then we blew up. I mean, I don't know where Livewire was taking this time.
Oh, God. We do have a ton of PUBG stories. We'll save those. Feel free to share your own in the comments. But we do got to say, guys, phenomenal show tonight. Lots of topics, lots of news, and, of course, great panel. Last show of the year, as I said, holiday week next week. People are going to be busy. But we're going to make it a doozy. We've got a lot of good stuff for you. Thank you so much for showing up. If you're here early, hit that like button. We appreciate it. And really, I wanted to start off by talking about Battlefield Bad Company 3. This has apparently been leaked a few different times, actually. And before we get into opinions, what we'd like to see, maybe what we think, this was actually leaked thanks to the same guy that leaked Battlefield 1 a month before it was revealed. And he got everything down to a T. People made fun of him online. Turned out he was right. The same guy kind of goes on record here. And apparently the next Battlefield game is going to be set in a more Vietnam era. It's going to extend through the 80s, apparently. There may be a Cold War setting. And it's going to be more of a Battlefield 3 style maps, Grand Bazaar, tighter maps with maybe a better emphasis on destruction, things like that. I'm excited, guys. I'm excited for this. What about you guys?
Most definitely.
I'm already ready, man. Where's the pre-order?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Where's the pre-order at? I'm excited because I'm glad that they set the setting to a later date about Vietnam, because we were talking about that last week. Was that's some places that gamers don't really, developers don't really go, is going to like Korea or Vietnam or even the Gulf War, any of that. So that would be perfect, a perfect setting, man.
You remember Bad Company 2's Vietnam expansion with CCR and all the right music? I mean, it
was great.
Yeah, it was great stuff.
I mean, I downloaded it. I mean, I had really bad internet at the time, so it took me around 2 days to download it, but it was amazing. I mean, I hopped in there. The guns felt good. I mean, see, something about Bad Company, that Battlefield, I don't know what it is, man. It feels like a disconnect between those two games. You know what I mean? Like, I just had way more fun with Bad Company, with the campaign, the multiplayer, the way
Bad Company has heart. You know, it has
Yeah, it has
characters in the story, and
exactly.
yeah, like Marlo. Hey, come get over here, Marlo.
Right.
It's awesome. Yeah, I really like that. I've had more fun playing Bad Company 1 and 2 than I've enjoyed like Battlefield 3 and 4's campaign, but not like Bad Company.
And honestly, when I'm playing Bad Company 2, coming from then when you play Battlefield 3, it's like they took like a step back, you know, because like I remember they had grenades where you can throw them, you can track, you know, it's like a radar pulsing. You got fucking what else? The parachute, you can double tap A and glide wherever you are off any distance.
Yeah.
Like the mechanics in the game were just ahead for its time, and I think that Battlefield kind of takes a step back to me.
They had it was a different era with different weapons. It was a little more lighthearted. The story was a little supernatural. You know, they had these Japanese super weapons they were tracking down.
Weapon, the dark weapon. That's what it was. The dark weapon.
The dark weapon. So you know, Battlefield Bad Company 3. I'm looking forward to it. Really enjoyed Bad Company 2.
Yeah.
Put 24 hours in the beta alone. A really fun game. And then it seems like with 3. That game was broken for a while, and you know how that went. We were all there. Indy, I'd like to know what you think, man. I know you're a massive Battlefield fan. But any final thoughts on Bad Company 3? Any suggestions or hopes?
Suggestions. I just want them to not make those guns look like they're smushed. I don't know. I don't know if you Bad Company 1 and 2. Those guns, like you got an M16, looks like a vector. Like it's weird.
Yeah.
Realistic.
The one thing that I'm looking at is. They got separate. EA has now had, well, I should say the Battlefield series now has its own kind of franchises, kind of like what Call of Duty does now. You know, you got Black Ops, you got World of War. Now you have this World War II thing going on, and then the futuristic stuff that's going on with Call of Duty. Now you have Battlefield 1, you have Hardlines. I know a lot of people didn't like Hardlines, but man, I love the multiplayer of Hardlines. But anyway, but you just got different types. You can go to the modern, you can go to the old, you can go to to Vietnam. That's great. That's great. I like.
Hey, we gotta give a shout out to Fuzzy Belvedere and Lethal Papa and all these people show up, guys. Thank you so much. Working our way up towards 300 watching already. Please hit that like button, guys. We appreciate it as we go into the next topic. Grab yourself something to drink. Something to eat. Get comfortable.
Bad Company, I mean, I'm excited for the new one because I really like Bad Company 1 and 2. I love the story narrative. I think it was DICE's attempt at capturing more of the Call of Duty market. They went with a smaller scale where there was some destructibility, but not as much as, per se, the Battlefield 3 or 4 or that sort of stuff. But I did like that tighter narrative. I like the characters, the camaraderie between them, a lot of the lingo. And, depicting the Vietnam era, I mean, even though I'm a Canadian and I was born outside of that, I mean, I know it's such a visceral period of time, in history when modern weaponry really started to come into its own. The type of tactics that were used in the dogfights and everything else were just kind of crazy. And I think it'll definitely be, if they approach the setting properly, it could be, a new trend-setting game, could be something really cool, especially if they branch into the Cold War era as well, kind of a transverse between that. But it should be a good game. I mean, it's DICE, it's Bad Company, great characters, and hopefully maybe they bring those guys. Well, I guess they couldn't bring those guys back, but hopefully they keep with that sort of that theme and keep it light, kind of keep it humorous, keep it action-packed, keep it on course, and it should be good.
Yeah, I agree. And also Chaos in the chat, bro. I'd like to see that link that says factually that Xbox One has sold 30 million. That'd be great. Can you produce that in the chat? That'd be great. I'd like those facts. If you're confident, you'll have a link for me. So PUBG, guys, 48 hours, sold 1 million copies. That is absolutely phenomenal. I want to mention the fact that the new patch is out, the first patch, about a week after release. Faster than some might have expected, does, believe it or not, does improve stability and consistency of your frame rate. Now, even in the beginning level, what'd you notice all day when you first booted up the game and jumped in there with all the crackheads that were naked jumping around.
Hey. Nah, when you load in the intro island to the game, I've noticed that they added about 6 to 8 frames added to that.
In the first patch alone,
yeah, and it was consistent. There wasn't any choppiness towards like the last 10 seconds when people started, throwing grenades, putting them in their underwear, things like that. Then it cleared up. I mean, when I dropped in the plane's still trash. I mean, you actually find a Wonder Woman jet, so when you land, it's more consistent. I did notice a little rubber banding, but that's been going on. But other than that, it feels a little bit more tight and a little bit more consistent.
Even in the vehicles, you're at a rock solid, 26 frames per second now, so.
Yeah, I told Dealer, I was in a party with him. I said, hey, like I'm in the car, I'm driving a motorcycle, and the frames is about 26, 27 locked. So that's good.
Oh God, Mike Ybarra, how you doing, bud? How you doing, bud? Hope everything's going well for you, bud. So yeah, that first patch. Anybody else try this patch? I did try it.
I haven't yet. I downloaded it when I got in because somebody wanted to play, and then I told them that I had to get the download, and then I jumped on Destiny with Xbot. A couple of
what? Destiny?
Yeah. Somebody game shared it, so I camooched it. So that. So
a little bit late, but
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. But I'm a level 10 right now, and so then we jumped on, and I'm trying to build up my class to get to a level 25, and then we'll get down. We did some Crucible stuff and
level 20K Mega. Okay.
Well, they said 25, so I don't know. Is it level 20?
Regardless, it's Destiny.
Maybe with
25 or 20.
Maybe with the DLC. I don't know if you got that or not.
Yeah, I bought the DLC because the person that got it. Shout outs to Delirium Blades. He was like, "You got to get your own DLC, Mega." I was like, well, "Shit, I'm just happy that you got it for me, bro. I appreciate it." But yeah, I got the DLC, and so get to it.
Well, I know no one else has played PUBG with a patch, but like I said, I have, and I did notice a difference with not only the beginning frame rate, but the overall consistency. Even if it's not locked, it's a much more stable, unlocked frame rate, if that makes sense. It's not Assassin's Creed Unity anymore. So that and the pop-in, stuff like that's dramatically better as well. So, and also I've gotten into matches almost instantly when I've
clicked start.
It's
fast. I mean, when I click start, I was already in, period.
Yeah,
so that's good. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm going to play some tonight. So I don't know if 100 is going to be on or whatever, but I'm going to play some PUBG tonight, though.
Yeah, I'm down. If you want to play, I'm down. I'll kill you first, but just be careful.
Yeah, I got to watch you. I'm going to stay behind your ass all night long.
Neverland is dropping bombs. Neverland is dropping bombs saying The Last Jedi was trash.
Oh shit.
Come on, man.
Let us know what you think, chat. One, if you think Last Jedi was trash. Two, if you think it was good. There were some issues, but I didn't think it was trash. But
oh no, my son seen it. He told me that the beginning was cheesy, the middle was good, and the ending was hot. And he was like, so he gave it like an 8 out of 10. So.
I'm waiting for these 1s and 2s. 1, if it's trash. 2, if you thought it was good or not trash. I guess it's mixed, man. We got more 1s. We got more 1s.
I thought the movie was really good, personally, and I'm a big Star Wars fan, going way back to the originals. But yeah, there was a couple of moments in there I kind of stopped and went, "What the?" But outside of the couple of brain scratchers there, I thought the movie was pretty good. I mean, it kept a good pace. I liked a lot of the characters. Some of the things that people are complaining about turned out to be some of the things I actually liked. I don't want to give anything away with spoilers, but overall, I thought it was an enjoyable movie and had lots of potential and loved where the kind of story is branching off. But again, there were some head scratchers, but otherwise, I thought it was decent.
Head scratchers. I need a new fucking brain. How did that just happen? What
Sounds
is
like
that?
a nut scratcher.
They literally, this is the only problem, real big problem I have with the movie, and we'll move on, is the fact that several things happen in this movie, at least 2 or 3, that you're just like, what the hell just happened? I don't understand. I don't know what that was or what that is. They don't explain it. So, it's a little bit of looking into, but
let's just say the floating lady scene kind of blew me away.
Yeah, let's not say anymore. So, like I said, PUBG, 1,048 hours. Let us know what you think in the comments besides Last Jedi was trash.
When are we going to get new numbers? Because it was 500,000 really quick, and then it was 1 million. So I wonder if it's still climbing.
1 million in 2 days. It's probably, what's it been, a week, right?
Yeah.
What do you guys think, chat? I think it's probably at 1.5 now, maybe. It's been, another 4 days.
Garbage it is. Trash can, I will find you. Yes.
Oh, no.
Gotta creep it up somehow.
Yeah,
I do. Go ahead.
No, I ain't got nothing to say after that. Go ahead.
Hey, we do got to give a shout out to over 300 people watching us live. Please hit that like button. It really helps the show more than you know. I do want to talk about the top games for the fall of 2017. In my last video, I made the mistake of saying the year. I mean, at the end of the year. That's what I get for making videos at 3 a.m. So it doesn't really change anything. The year.
Oh no, a
year.
YouTuber made a mistake.
Well, I mean, it wasn't even. Like I said, it doesn't really change the list that much. There's only one thing that changes, and it still proves my point. So we do got the most popular games of 2017. Buckle your seatbelts, because I'm sure you don't know. It starts out with Call of Duty, and this is for PlayStation, by the way. This particular list.
Okay.
Call of Duty World War II. You got Battlefront 2. You got Assassin's Creed Origins, NBA 2K18, Madden 18, FIFA 18.
Jeez.
Oh man, Need for Speed Payback, number 7. Number 7.
Whoa, wait. Where's GT Sport?
Hey, I'm not done. I'm not done yet. It could
Okay.
still be on here, right?
Yeah, that's probably on there.
Need for Speed Payback is number 7 when it comes to the most popular games, the top 10 games of the fall. Destiny 2 at number 8, GTA 5, the game that won't fucking die, and Wolfenstein 2.
What? Hold on, wait a minute.
Wait, no, you missed Horizon Zero Dawn on there or something.
You missed
Or
that.
Lost Legacy.
You missed GT Sport, didn't you, dealer? Come on now.
I think they missed GT Sport.
Ooh, wait.
on there.
So this is just the official. This is just the official list from NPD. These are the most popular games of the fall for PS4, and we got to point it out. All multi-plat.
Arrest you for not having a PS4 exclusive on that list.
Every one of them multi-plat. We do got to point that out. When it comes to the year, Horizon Zero Dawn did make it into spot number 10, but like I said, it doesn't go far to prove the point wrong that multi-plats is, hey, if there ain't shit to play over here, ain't shit to play over there, that's for sure. Now, when it comes to Xbox, of course, very similar list. Top 10 games for the fall. You got Call of Duty World War II, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Assassin's Creed Origins, NBA 2K18, Madden 18, FIFA 18, Need for Speed Payback, number 7. Wow. It's an identical list. Destiny 2.
What is that number?
It's just telling us.
This list seems spooky.
It's just telling us a lot.
It tells you that it doesn't matter whether you're on PlayStation or Xbox. We all like the same fucking shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Forza is a good sleeping aid. What's number 8 sold, or where are you at?
Forza is a good sleeping aid with quadruple the cars, the GT Sport, and fucking double the tracks and upgrades and
better Metacritic score. Where did it make the list, dealer?
Yeah, I was getting there. Number 9, Forza 7.
Okay,
So we do got to point that out.
Mm-hmm.
There's one exclusive here, and for the end of the year, and that's Forza 7. And then you've got Shadow of War. So that's the top 10 for Xbox, top 10 for PlayStation. What do you guys think? What do you think, Mega?
All right, well, let's just say this. PlayStation is very smart because they use the marketing deals, and it is showed, because you see that it's all multi-plats that rule the day for the most part.
Yeah, PlayStation are more in tune with the fact that people are, by and large, more accustomed to multiplats and want more of those games than anything. That's why they spent so much money marketing them.
Right.
They seem to know more than the hardest core PlayStation fanboys I ever knew.
Right. And again, we could just go back looking a couple of years where now there's gamers that's saying, well, Microsoft needs to go back to the roots and start swooping up marketing deals. But if you guys can remember, there was this big tiff about Xbox first. Let's bring Xbox exclusives into the fold and let them just primarily start advertising those games. Well, it seems like PlayStation made the smart move and utilized what the 360 was so good at last gen. So it's just one of those. I mean, damn, just the multiplats rule. That's what it just says. I mean,
how did Crash Bandicoot not make top sales? That game sold faster.
Cuphead sold really well too.
Well, Uncharted 4, The Lost Legacy, kind of shocked at that. Plus, that title was even less expensive because it was like a DLC essentially, and that didn't make it in. That's kind of weird.
That is weird.
What do you think about this whole day?
2 identical lists. Move on.
I'm surprised all those sports games are on there. I didn't think that many people were still playing them.
I mean, you gotta think about it.
Hell out of sports.
I remember I seen this one picture. It was about a guy. He was painting his girlfriend's fingernails, right, or toes, or whatever. It was on Twitter. So I zoomed in real close, right?
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
So I zoomed in really close. I was like, wait, I'm trying to see what kind of games he got because he was right behind the entertainment center, right? So I zoomed in, and he had all the way from 2K15 all the way till 18, and that's the only games he had. So
Wow.
I was like, wow.
So that's the stereotype. Guy who plays all sports games likes to paint his girlfriend's toenails.
And
We got
he
it.
was,
Thanks, all day.
and he was African American. So that didn't help.
All day said that I didn't.
So I'm like, okay, so there really is people out there that just buy GTA
Oh yeah.
sports game, and that's
Yeah,
it.
we know one of the biggest trolls in the community. That's all they do is play 2K18, right? So, I mean, that's you like what you like, man. And
Yeah,
when that I bring this up, and I bring this list up to deconstruct, all this bullshit with Xbox has no games. Like them or hate them, there's shit coming first half of next year. I've said this a billion times. And if you don't like it, that's fine. I understand that. It's the same way I don't like Persona and things like that. I'm not, I'm just not a fan.
Dealer, I'm here. You have to address that game properly. The penis demon.
Oh God, I don't even want to talk about it after all the shit that's happened over this fucking game.
You
I'm
like
just saying that everyone's got their own taste, and obviously people have chosen with their wallet and their dollar on these multiplats. Hey, what can you say? It is a very similar list, though. I will say up till spot number 8 or 7 or something, they're exactly the same, which is crazy.
Yeah. Horizon Zero Dawn made number 10 on that list for top sold games on PS4, and I think
Of the year, yeah.
Of the year, and it sold around 4 million, and they just announced 70 million PS4s out in the market, and 4 million people got the best game, the best exclusive on the platform, which was Horizon Zero Dawn. It's kind of crazy. It doesn't say anything good or bad. It just shows
not
you
the best
real
exclusive.
hardcores.
Uncharted 4 is much better, in my opinion, but
Of the year.
yeah,
Of the year.
yeah.
Of the year, and it definitely is the best exclusive of the year on PS4. I would think. I mean, it would be mine, and it just shows you that there's that 6-7% of the install base, and it's the same thing on the Xbox. Look at the numbers, the total sold for Forza 7. It's that hardcore. It's at under 10% of that whole install base that buys that exclusive. That's how it is.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But you also know there's one common denominator with the majority of the PlayStation exclusive games, okay? And it even goes for a lot of the Xbox ones. There is no multiplayer. There's no multiplayer aspect, which is the stuff that really takes a game from being a 1.5 million seller to a 5 to 7 million seller. It's bottom line, because honestly, one of the most populated, I suppose, multiplayer games on the PlayStation right now is the Uncharted franchise, but yet that's nowhere close to, say, Call of Duty's numbers or these other games. You know what I mean? Like, it has its dedicated list of fans, but like when I turn on my PlayStation, I know I don't have a fortune of friends on my PlayStation compared to Xbox, but I rarely see anybody on my PlayStation friends list ever be playing Uncharted multiplayer. So there's that to speak for, there's a common denominator there, you know what I mean? And this is what I'm saying. Like Phil knows his stuff, man. Like the Xbox wants to invest in properties too, but they also want to make money beyond the initial investment, the initial sale, and then the game just dies and ends up back on GameStop shelves.
Yeah. Fuzzy says he actually likes Hellblade more than some of these other exclusives as well, and I was actually thinking about picking that up.
Hellblade's a really good game.
I'm gonna pick it up on PC and play it on 1080 if I'm gonna play it anywhere. But I'm hoping, and I said this in my last video. I spent 6 minutes in my last video talking about what I want Microsoft to do better. Many of you watched it. I appreciate that. Many of you didn't check it out. It's just real talk, and there are things that it could do better, where there are things that it dominates at, in my opinion. Every platform could do much better. To me, anyway. So, what
do you guys think? What are your guys' best Xbox game this generation, in your opinion?
No, I got a question regarding that here later in the show to wrap up the year. But
I was gonna say, it's my favorite PlayStation game so far. Bloodborne. I like Bloodborne a hell of a lot. Yeah, I think that's my favorite.
Yeah. Well, we do got to give a shout out to 400 plus people watching us live. Please hit that like button. It really helps the channel out quite a bit. Helps the podcast. Hey, all day, what do you think the most popular game of the year was?
Oh, what system? Xbox?
Across the board.
Ooh, that's tough, man. Most popular game?
Best selling.
Best selling.
It's right there in front of you.
PUBG.
Nope. Actually, geez, they didn't count PUBG. But PUBG, that's why they don't count PUBG, I think.
Well, PUBG just only been out, what, 7 days?
Well, it's in preview. It's been on PC for a while. But it's not even a fucking full game yet. So
PC isn't on that listing, though, those 3 lists you looked at.
Yeah,
It's
so
just console.
Yeah, it's definitely Call of Duty World War II. A few people in the chat called that out.
Yeah.
Call of Duty World War II, best-selling game of 2017, and it is what it is. Software is up 19% compared to this time last year. Hardware, of course, with the Xbox One X, up 52% over it was last year with the PS4 Pro out there. And that's all according to, of course, the same exact sources I cited in my last video. So, yeah, industry's healthy, man. Definitely beats having a cell phone in your hand playing games with, right? I remember those days, right?
Yeah.
2012, 2013, mobile gaming was the future, K-Mega. Could you believe it?
Yeah. No, I never believed that.
I know you was the first one there with a cell phone playing all your favorite games.
Candy Crush, yeah, that was all over it.
It makes you want to hunt down some of these analysts, build a time machine. That's how I feel about it.
Michael Pachter, come on, man.
Oh, man. Noof, what was your favorite game? And please play along in the chat. We'd like to get some feedback, maybe some opinions from you guys. What was your favorite game of 2017, man?
2017, well, I'm going to make a lot of the PlayStation crew happy. It still is. I'm going to have to say Horizon Zero Dawn, or Zero Yawn, as a lot of the haters call it. But I really loved that game. I thought it was fantastic graphically, story-wise. I just couldn't put it down when I started playing. I loved everything about the game. And I just think based on the fact that Guerrilla spent most of the last decade making Killzone games, and they go out on a limb and they make this phenomenal game, which, I mean, looks really good. Even on the standard PlayStation 4, it holds up really well. It looks, intriguing. I just love the robots, the design. You know what I mean? There was just a lot of
it's a little different, It's a fresh take.
Yeah, that was mine.
Yeah, that's not a bad choice for this year, especially at all. All day, what was yours? Best game of 2017. Game of the year.
Game of the year.
I want to consider things that you played a little bit of but have not beat.
I would say Horizon so far for me. Horizon Zero Dawn and what else? Fuck, I would say Persona 5, but I'm not far enough. So
D981 says GTA. GTA for all 4 years. Okay.
No, it'll be between Persona 5 and Horizon Zero Dawn for me.
Okay. What about you, K-Mega?
Oh, well, we got multiple. I'm first off the bat for me is Forza 7. I'm 96% for almost having that game done, the campaign or however you want to. Yeah, it's that, and I love that game. And then all day gonna love this one, but Halo Wars 2.
Oh God.
Hey, if you're a strategy fan, that's kind of your option for console.
I loved Halo Wars 2. It made me play the first one.
Hey, if Halo 6's story was a little more realistic and gritty like Halo Wars 2 was, I think that's the best Halo story in a while for those that haven't played it. I mean, people getting their arms snapped and stuff. I mean, it's really gritty and kind of dark.
Yeah,
and gorgeously made.
Yeah, Atriarch was a monster.
One of the better villains in a while. So hopefully Halo 6 takes a key, kind of like, a little bit from that. Mature
Bro,
up a little bit.
They take Atriox and they take the Flood. I'm sold.
Well, that
Flood
was
has to come back.
Yeah, the Flood is back. Well,
I'm talking about 6. If they can bring those two elements to 6, they got to win for me.
Just as long as they bring.
Hey, Colt, while they're discussing this, can you check out the RDX question of the day for me real quick? Get some of those queued up.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Thank you so much. You are awesome. I can't multitask. Man, Colt, while you're doing that, actually, what is your game of the year?
Let's do 2 things. Definitely. So I thought my game of the year was going to be Shadow of War because that game was just so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So beautiful. But holy smokes!
Assassin's Creed
Origins took it. It just had everything. I mean, I just couldn't believe how awesome that game was. I thought everything was great. It was so beautiful. I took like 700 million screenshots while I played through the game. 64 hours into it, and I never got bored.
It's like you're playing in the 1930s. You're just taking screenshots the whole time.
I could just flip through my screenshots and just replay the whole game. It was great. That game was just beautiful. I would venture to say it's probably one of the most beautiful games I've ever played.
Oh yeah,
just really so much detail. So beautiful, just so awesome looking, and the combat at first, the first hour, I was like, I don't know if I like this, and then after that, I absolutely love the combat. I couldn't imagine going back and playing an older Assassin's Creed game.
We had a few people. Someone said Evil Within 2. Another one said he really liked Mass Effect Andromeda. A lot of people forget that came out this year.
I did like that one still a little bit.
I'm always defending Andromeda because people treat it like it's like a set of 50,000 times, a 55 on Metacritic, not a 75, which is what it's at. I don't think it's horrible, but it lost a lot of that luster, that passion, that drive, Yeah. It's not a bad game, though. I put almost 100 hours into it if you check my Xbox achievements.
I think the characters sucked. Like, I didn't like any of them, honestly.
Yeah, at all.
But the combat was really good. The story was sucky. Some of the exploration was fun, but yeah, I think you can't help but compare it to the other Mass Effect games.
The trilogy,
they're just amazing.
Hey, I do want to give a shout out to almost 450 people watching us live. Guys, hit that like button if you can. Even to the haters, guys. For some reason, you dislike the show so far. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna build you.
Yeah, for you guys looking at the pickup Mass Effect right now, I can tell you, and I don't know about in the US, but here in Canada, I've seen it at many of the stores for just $19 now, brand new. Like, it's at Walmart for $19, Best Buy at $19. I mean, you can't beat it. You definitely get your money's worth out of it. Most disappointing game of the year, definitely, but was it a terrible game? Totally not. It was, like Dealer said, it's definitely a game that deserves a good 70, 75%. I think it was made by a secondary BioWare team. It was rushed a little bit. They put in a lot of filler missions, but otherwise it's still a playable game with a lot of fun. They fixed up a lot of stuff with some post patches. So yeah, guys, pick up Mass Effect, support a good game. Like I said, it's dirt cheap now, so no excuses.
I feel like that game Pass soon.
I think it's in Game Pass, isn't it?
It's on
Access.
Oh, it's already there?
So, yeah, it's already in there.
I could have swore it was going to Game Pass soon or something. I don't know. Somebody in the chat might know yes or no, but I do want some more Game of the Years from the chat here. Just
what about you? You didn't go yourself, bro?
Yeah, I was about to.
Okay.
I think that I'm just gonna have to choose Witcher 3 again for the 17th year in a row. Just the best game ever made.
That's not fair, bro. Go ahead. Pick something
best game ever made factually. It's the
you can't say that until it's been enhanced. Then it's a 2017 game.
Yeah, and for those that were very impressed by Assassin's Creed, wait until you see Witcher at ultra settings 4K with the settings bump that they've confirmed.
I think you're doing a cop out, bro. You gotta pick something.
I'm not done. I'm just saying. I'm very excited for that patch. I've got days left in that game even now. So I'm just saying, look forward to that. That's going to be one of the best looking games on the platform for sure. Pretty easily. I
put well over a month in that game and still not nowhere near beating it yet.
Yeah. It's going to look great. And if you haven't tried it, now's the time. But Game of the Year, I've started several games, and unfortunately I spent the last month in Fallout 4. I got like 1,200 gamer score in that. Just no life Fallout 4. But I did beat Assassin's Creed as well. I started Wolfenstein. I'm pretty good ways through that. I started Star Wars. I just couldn't really choose. But I did 100% Forza 7 like a month or two ago.
Nice.
That's a great game, but I would have to give it to, from what I beat so far, Assassin's Creed. But I think Wolfenstein is going to take it by the time I'm done with that game. So
that's what I was going to say, because I got Assassin's Creed and I have Wolfenstein and Shadows of War, but I haven't put enough time in either one of those games to give it that. But I feel for what I've played so far of Shadows of War, that would probably have been my top game of 2017. But I haven't put any time in it. And just we can't Persona 5. I just bought Persona 5 last week, and I put in about 2 hours in it, 2.5 hours, and I can't call it. I mean, where I'm at is it's real dull right now. The beginning of it was really cool from how it started off, and now I'm in a part where I'm just kind of walking around in the city and figuring things out, and I'm like, oh shit. But
well, Witcher, you know that too. You play Witcher, it does have 5-6 hours where you're like, I don't know if I like this game. And then something clicks. So I'm sure it's the same thing with Persona. Ed Torres says Horizon or Zelda. We can't leave Nintendo out of this either. They just won Game of the Year from the pointless Jeff Keighley Awards. So I'm sure it's a great game. And Nintendo's coming back in force. I don't think anybody can deny that. Nobody saw this coming with the Switch. I don't think so. Pretty crazy.
No. And personally, I don't cover Nintendo stuff very often, and I always end up forgetting about it because obviously those games are great. But yeah, I don't really cover that stuff normally. Yeah, I'm not forgetting that stuff because Nintendo has had a great year, and it's good for them to be back. It pushes everybody forward.
Yeah.
Makes them work hard.
Yeah, I got a better question for everybody, and this also extends to the chat. Your most disappointing game of the year. And we're doing this because, of course, like I said, it's our last show of the year. If you missed the beginning of the show, holiday stuff coming up next week. So we want to do all this now. Most disappointing game of 2017, Noof.
Most disappointing. I think I already answered it, but yeah, it had to be Mass Effect because I was really, really looking forward to Mass Effect Andromeda. I said that in 2016, when the hype was starting to build, and I said it early in the year, said I couldn't wait for Mass Effect Andromeda to drop. And I kind of knew Horizon Zero Dawn. I had a feeling it was going to live up to a lot of its hype and be the game that it was, and I'm happy for that. But Andromeda was good. I still put the most, if you look at my gamer score, my achievement thing, that thing that Microsoft did this week where we fill out our surveys, it's my #1 most played game this year. And that's not like #1 with 20 hours. That's like #1 with, I think, 4 or 5 actual days worth of game time put into it. And I streamed it the most this year too. But while I did enjoy it, yeah, it was the most disappointing because I felt it just didn't hit the lofty expectations put on the series by its
missing that spark,
It is, and it would be nice to see if the team to come back at least and give it the Xbox One X enhancement. That would make me want to jump in a little bit more because the game definitely had some frame rate issues and a bunch of other things as well. A lot of it got ironed out quite a bit, but still, the game had some flaws. It was boring in places. It didn't have Commander Shepard. So yeah, it definitely was my most the game
most hated game apparently. Noof hated Mass Effect Andromeda,
and it doesn't look good on a 4K TV. I tried it. I was on the chat with Gail. He goes, "I don't think you're going to play it again." I'm like, I'm going to give it. Yeah, I'm not playing this again.
Well, I started it up again, and I was like, I don't want to do this intro again. I didn't realize how that intro was. I didn't want to go through that again. But we got a lot of stuff in the chat. Punkadish Gaming, man, thanks for showing up. You're always here. Appreciate it, bro. Mr. Glass, Console Gamer, Mike Ortiz, thank you so much. We got GT Sport, we got Horizon Zero Dawn, Mass Effect, Destiny 2. I think everyone was a little disappointed with something.
Can I just say one thing before I move on to the rest of the panel? I think the game that was most criminally overlooked this year, and you guys might disagree with me here, but I think the one that was most criminally overlooked was Ghost Recon Wildlands, because it felt like nobody really played that game when it came out, and it's starting to get more buzz now after its patches and DLCs, and that new Predator map thing or whatever they put in there was freaking fantastic. But yeah, I think that game should have been a lot more popular than it was, and I don't see enough people playing it.
Yeah,
I'm back on it.
Yeah, Wildlands though, I like the mechanics. It looks absolutely ridiculously phenomenal in the X. Absolutely looks like the PC version. Very smooth. Performance is good. All that good stuff. But every mission is kind of like a side mission in that game.
Hey, what was that?
And that's not even a knock on the game. That's just facts. And that's kind of why Horizon was kind of disappointing to me this year, because I was just coming off The Witcher. I was doing side missions for literally a year and a half in that game almost. And I finally beat it, and I still got more to do and DLC. But I went to Horizon, and I was expecting meaningful side, kind of like Assassin's Creed. That kind of let me down in Assassin's Creed too. The side missions and stuff just didn't hold up compared to Witcher. And Horizon's in that same boat, but Horizon side missions are definitely worse than Assassin's Creed Origin side missions for sure. And I think All Day agreed with me there last time we talked about it. It's just, it is what it is. Guerrilla Games, they tried. And, they launched a new IP, and they've only set themselves up to make something really great next go around. So in terms of my most disappointing game, it probably had to be Mass Effect, though, honestly, even all that said.
I won't waste time. I'll just throw in my hat for that, too, so you don't have to wait to go to me.
Mass Effect.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Man, we forgot. Resident Evil 7 came out this year. That game was an absolute surprise to me. So if you haven't played that, keep that in mind.
I haven't played that yet.
What about Shadow Warrior 2? That like came out with like just the smallest little like.
Oh, that game is fun. That game is
it's
fun.
It's really fun, and nobody talked about it. It was out on PC like almost 6 months before console.
Yeah.
And I played on PC, and then it came out in May, I think.
Four-player co-op as well.
Yeah, and I never heard anyone in the community really talking about it. And it's a funny game. It's got that Doom feel. There's loot everywhere. You have all these different. You have a bunch of different guns and different melee weapons. Yeah, that's a game.
Yeah, I do want to mention.
And when you start the game, you go with the Transformers. You got the touch.
Yes,
that's great. Yeah, the game is dope. I really like that game, and I bought it on the Xbox here.
That game needs a patch.
Yeah. See, I haven't seen what it looks like on the X, but I know on the PC it looks really good. So
yeah, it does.
Hey, we do got to mention. Obviously, we're going to talk about PUBG again here in a minute with IGN and all this stuff going on. But I do want to mention the fact that All Day and his buddy were playing Fortnite, the Battle Royale mode. And of course, it's free to play on the X. They're saying it runs. It looks like 60 frames. I don't know. I haven't played it, but regardless. Performance is extremely smooth. They got the same player count, regardless of the visual art style. Like it looks a little more cartoony, obviously. That's all GPU pushed. The CPU is still pushing the exact same tasks. And that game runs flawlessly on the same engine, Unreal Engine 4, as PUBG.
Look, when I dropped in the game, instantly from the plane to the ground, not one frame drop at all. On
Fortnite, yeah.
On Fortnite,
and that's my point. Both PUBG and Fortnite Battle Royale are running on Unreal Engine 4, and that just shows you that PUBG is a team of fans of a game that made a mod and that turned into a phenom, and they're not exactly experts in their field. They're learning, and that's where we all start. But the Unreal Engine guys with Fortnite, they made Unreal Engine. That's their engine, and you can see the difference in optimization. Same engine. One just runs infinitely smoother, which is crazy. So
that's why I think that the coalition is sitting there at the office of Bluehole and going, just let us just rebuild this thing from the ground up, please.
Just let us touch that. Okay, you don't want me to fuck with that? Oh, come on.
Give me you guys just go out to lunch for a month.
Did you really just unplug my keyboard, you bitch?
They're putting post-it notes underneath their mouses and just trying to take over. I mean, they got to be itching to fix it, right, dealer? I mean, just kind of rebuild it.
I don't know exactly what those team members are doing over there at Bluehole. There's no official comment on what they're doing. Yeah, they're in the blue hole.
PUBG is probably the ugliest, most crappily performing game that I've had so much fun playing. It's so amazing how many laughs and how intense and your heart rate goes up. And when you see somebody, you're like, oh, frick. It's like, oh, you guys start spraying like all over the walls.
Time to miss.
Cole, just imagine if this game was like 5 years ago with no multiplayer, it would have got traded in instantly.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That's the truth on that.
I haven't beat the draw on that game.
Broken game since Friday the 13th.
Well, see, that was going to be my most disappointing. That and Lawbreakers, because I didn't even get the chance. I bought both games and I didn't get a chance to play both. I bought Lawbreakers on the PC, and because of some weird ass system through Nexus or something, it wouldn't let me play it, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I got a refund on that. And then Friday the 13th, everybody was like, just keep trying. You'll get in. You'll get a match. After 3 days later, I said, hell to the no, man. I was like, this is crazy. And
it came out when it did, and that's why it did as well as it did.
Yeah. But Friday the 13th is my most disappointing game.
That's a good choice.
Yeah.
And that's yet another game handled by a big professional studio. Would have probably been absolutely phenomenal.
What did you say? Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, Friday the 13th. Yeah, I'll just
K-Mega, think about this, bro. This is what I did when I put my stupid helmet on, right? Mm-hmm. Think about the movies are usually cheesy and bad, right? So is the gameplay. Just think of it like that.
Well, I didn't even get a chance.
It's authentic. It's authentic experience.
Movies don't run at 12 frames per second, though.
I didn't even get a chance to play the game. The game was so broken, you couldn't even get in and I couldn't get a match.
Well, you did play it at launch, didn't you? That's probably why.
No, only thing I did was turn it on and see the screen, and that was it, and load up.
When did you try to play it? That's what I'm saying. Your time frame. When did you try to play it?
I got it a week later when everybody else got it.
Yeah, I don't think there was a patch out by then.
No, it was.
I think it was still around the beta version.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I was like, this is crazy. I'm not waiting for this. And then the same thing kind of happened to me with Lawbreakers. Now it was crazy because the beta for Lawbreakers worked just fine. Me and B Shadows was playing it for like about 2 or 3 hours. And I thought the game was cool. It wasn't the best game ever. But it was something that I was like, I could play this, and so
it didn't stutter like the launch did, right?
Yeah, and then that was it. I was like,
hey, it could be worse. It could be Top Dog saying, "I'm glad PUBG didn't come to PS4. We don't need another shooter." You should be glad because that bitch should be running at 2 frames per second, not 15. So
yeah, on that
one exclusive shooter the whole entire gen, and it was Killzone Shadowfall. So it's like, yeah, don't quit feeding us all those shooters.
Well, that's why I expected GT Sport to do well. Not only is it Gran Turismo Sport, but they haven't had a racer since Drive Club, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's been a little bit, but regardless, surprised more people didn't mention Friday the 13th. That was a letdown as well. Had a lot of potential, man. I want to get into some of these holiday bundles real quick.
Hold on. I thought you were going to cover this PUBG stuff because I have a RDX question.
That's after this.
Oh, okay.
Do you have a different RDX question? Hey, if you guys don't know, you can follow me at dealer_gaming. Every week during the podcast, I put out a post asking for a question from you guys to answer live on the show. So do that. What's the question, Cole? What you got?
Let's see. I forgot who it's from. Let me look at it. It is from Nightmare 342 says, do you guys feel that people should be analyzing a game that's still in preview?
Of course. The fuck?
No, I don't feel like they should release a review of something like Ghost of a Tale that isn't done, that has no voice acting, that's in preview for a reason, that is obviously there to get funded, to get its own development paid for by early access members. I don't think that they should review preview games, just like they shouldn't really review greenlight games on Steam.
So they'll take out the review word and put impressions.
Yeah, do that. Even that. Yeah, but as long as it doesn't go on Metacritic like their review does.
It's not going. Yeah, I don't
regardless, I mean, IGN did not do a preview review of Ark, to my knowledge. This is the game they decided to crack this egg on. And, there's no denying that. It is what it is. But I don't agree with reviewing games that are in preview because they are not done. Like that's like Far Cry 5 coming out right now in preview, and they're just like, oh, it's trash, it runs like trash, looks like trash, it's a fucking 2.
Everspace is a roguelike No Man's Sky type space shooter that is on the preview program, and I've never seen them analyze that game. I've always wondered what it was going to run like on the X, and they've never analyzed it.
So was Elite Dangerous?
Was Friday the 13th ever a preview game?
No,
it just kind of came out.
It just came out and it should have been a preview.
But
Ark was
PUBG is the hottest
for the Firewatch. That was preview. A bunch of those other ones. We Happy Few. That's the funny thing. I don't recall any of those games getting slammed. I mean, obviously those games probably run better out of the start than PUBG, but
they didn't get picked. Yeah,
about them.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just weird because PUBG is like the hottest game right now. It's the hottest exclusive game. It's not as big as Call of Duty World War II, but 24 million on PC, 1 million already in less than a week on the Xbox. It's a big deal, and it's there for clicks. I mean, do you guys think that Digital Foundry is analyzing that to get traffic to their channel, or are they concerned about what's going on with the preview?
It's a hot game, bro. So of course,
they're doing what they need to do. It's not Digital Foundry. The issue is reviewing games that are clearly, and then calling it preview review, right? Reviewing games that are clearly not done. And like I said, I can use Ghost of a Tale, the fucking game where you play as a mouse running around an open world RPG type thing. Clearly not done, but it's a preview game. So you wouldn't never expect them to review something like that.
I don't even think I've seen a review of Warframe. And Warframe's been
out for a couple of years.
Forever.
They might have. I'd like to know what the chat thinks because there's a little division here on this issue. What do you guys? Do you think they should be able to review preview games? One, if you think they should. Two, if you don't think they should be able to review preview games like they are now with PUBG.
I think it's ridiculous. I don't know. If the game is $60 retail, boom, and they say this is the game for how you get it, and there'll be like patches later or whatever, but this is sold as the game is complete to them for the consumers, then you should review that game. But
did Ark Survival Evolved get a preview review?
Nope.
Yeah, well, for that matter, if we're going to be reviewing preview games, why don't we just go down to Naughty Dog and start reviewing The Last of Us 2 now before it's done?
Right.
Nah, I mean, from the chat, we got one person with the 7, another one with a 1, but the rest, I feel like it's common sense, man. If something's in a preview program for a reason, I wouldn't go out of my way to review that game. It's not done. It's there because it's not done, as a matter of fact. So.
And it's just IGN headlines, man. Jesus, like, is anybody else seeing this, or are we just all like, what's going on here? Like those IGN headlines they've had recently. That one, especially that one, was it? The PUBG is an expensive buy or something, $500. How was it?
Yeah, we're going to get into that as well here in a minute, but I want to cover these holiday deals for those asking me on Twitter. There's a lot of bundles, and trust me, we're coming right back to this PUBG stuff. We get a lot of opinions. We want to hear more from you guys as well.
Hey, there's one more sale that's due. I mean, today's the last day of the GameStop sale. PS4 Pro with Call of Duty and Battlefront 2 or FIFA. You get both games.
Oh, that's a good deal. So Pro with Call of Duty and Battlefront or FIFA, choose
FIFA.
2.
Yeah, choose 2, right. And it's it ends today, so act fast if you want.
Really, really fucking fast.
Yeah. How much was it, I should say?
Yeah, I don't know. We do got to give a shout out to almost 500 people watching us live. Please hit that like button, guys. It really helps. You know this feel. You do your thing. You do it very well. Deals going on this holiday. We've got several different bundles for Xbox One S. You got $200 500 gigabyte models. You've also got $300 1 terabyte models. All of these models come with a game. So that's anything from Minecraft, Forza Horizon 3, your Halo, Assassin's Creed Origins, Shadow War. You've also got Madden, Rocket League, and of course, if you buy an Xbox One X, those are not on sale because they're still in demand. Makes no sense to cut the price. I don't think Sony did that last year either because, of course, when something's in demand, they don't need to. If you buy an Xbox One X, you get a copy of PUBG for free. So you get basically $30 off an Xbox One X.
Or in other words, PUBG is $500.
Yeah, I would have worded that.
Thank you, Max Scoville.
Thanks, Max Scoville. So, yeah, that's a really dumb way to word shit. All day, do you think that maybe, because I know you're probably on the other side of the fence on this one, do you think that maybe they could have said it the way that it actually is? You're not paying $500 for PUBG as their title infers. You're paying $500 for an Xbox One. You get a free copy of PUBG.
Of course not. It's clickbait.
Yeah.
They're just trying to be funny.
Yeah, they're trying to be funny. They're making a joke. And if that was me, if I was Mr. Scoville, he's a weird guy.
You should have stayed at Destructoid.
Yeah, Destructoid. I hated him there. But well, he should have worded that what you just said in the video afterwards. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
he should that all day. He took a shot at Xbox in the middle of his actual commentary there.
I didn't watch the video, but I know
that
you
actually have to. It's only 2.5 minutes long, and I don't remember what he said, but he kind of made the joke about this preview game and how it's running crappy. And he said something about if you want to spend $500 for a console, like that kind of thing. I think
right. I mean, like,
when they did the Xbox One unboxing a few months ago with fucking Aaron Greenberg on the panel, they were acting like a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, but I mean, people called out Aaron about it. I mean, if they felt a certain type of way, Aaron thought it was cool, so we shouldn't.
I mean, I want to know. And first, I got to give a shout out to Michael Chinchillo. Thank you so much, man. Merry Christmas to those that celebrate the holiday. Thanks to the super chat. I want to get the perspective from a Sony guy because I know there's at least 12 of you here. I got 12 dislikes in this video. I want to get the perspective of the Sony guy in the chat, Top Dog, any other frauds. I want to know last year if the PS4 Pro had launched, of course, as it did at $399, but they said, there's a $30 game and it costs you $400 to get this game. And they worded it like that. How would you feel, like, honestly? Because we know, obviously, if you're full of shit. What do you think about it? That's what I would like to know. And as we wait for some of these guys to give us the comments. Man,
now, you know that the Pro dropped the Sony dropped the price of the Pro during Black Friday. That was great. 2 weeks after.
That's not that isn't the point. The problem is like these constant digs against the Xbox for the past few years. Like that's just common. Like that's what they do. If they took that dig and said, you know, you're paying $400 for the Last Guardian, you know, some comment like that, you know, they just brush it off. No big deal.
You know why? I don't think people take that into account because it's not an overhyped game. You know what I mean? No matter if the game's good or not, if there's a hype beyond belief, of course, it's going to be in the spotlight of any type of shade or jokes or poking. You know, the game holds weight. So, you know, that's what.
Well, my point was the same about the price drop of the Pro during Black Friday, just 2 weeks after its launch, was that the demand probably wasn't as high, especially for what the demand is for the X,
right?
You know, because the Xbox, I don't think, but maybe at one place, maybe in Europe or something like that, where they dropped it for like to $50, so something like that. But other than that, it was still $500 everywhere. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, but yeah, no, I don't. I personally feel that PlayStation fans wouldn't have jumped on that. It didn't matter what game it was, because as long as you had a cheaper product with the Slim and whatever else, they would have went with that because it was the cheaper price, and they could say, well, I could have saved money getting this console and then getting this game, anyway.
Hey, I gotta do this real quick. Stormwalker, man, thanks. Super chat once again. He says, after years of patience with IGN, finally I dropped them because of this. See, this is kind of it's polarizing because it does affect people differently. Some people think PUBG deserves every bit of credit and hype that it's gotten and more, you know, whereas others maybe were less multiplayer centric and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So it all comes down to perspective, and people like Stormwalker. I get that. It was definitely, at the very least, as All Day said, ridiculously clickbaited in a very bad fashion to me.
Yeah.
Top Dog. So, of course, Top Dog didn't have an answer for us. I haven't seen any logical answers in the chat about if the situations were reversed. I don't mind talking to PlayStation guys at all. I actually enjoy it. I just like the real gamers that actually offer their true opinions and are just real about shit. So that's what I was hoping for. That didn't happen, unfortunately. But if the roles were reversed, I feel like people would probably be a little annoyed if they said, you know what, Horizon Zero Dawn's the most expensive game ever. It's $400. If they were giving it away with the Pro, I think people would have got pissed. And rather than not
right now at Costco, you can get it for $350. Horizon Zero Dawn with the Pro. Yeah, I know you could get. That's the most expensive copy of Horizon Zero Dawn, but it's actually a dumb joke, and actually we shouldn't even take offense to it because anybody knows what you're getting when you get a console. It's just it's just dumb. It's just a constant crap.
We just have to stop being so sensitive, man.
Sure, you know what I mean? Yeah, you're right.
I also think that extends to other areas too, though. Everyone's emotional about games and fucking freaking the fuck out because they don't know what's 6 months away. And you know what? If I were Microsoft, I would do the same shit. You wouldn't know shit until E3. And you know what? I guarantee you they're going to have stuff for you at E3. That's just how it's going to be.
Just the other day, I was super annoyed by this user on Twitter that kind of trolls Xbox guys. And then I played Xbox with him last night. And I'm like, he's just a normal, cool dude who just likes to mess with people. And it's like we forget this. We kind of put up this wall in front of us when we're in front of people who are pushing. Like, just push. If you want to push if PS4 is your favorite platform, push it in a positive way. Show people why it's so great. Don't say Xbox has no games. You know, don't say PS4 sucks because all it has is Japanese games. And that's what we're trying to do. And I need to try and do it better too, because there's some cool gamers out there we can have a good time with.
Right.
I forget, it's all Twitter. It's all bullshit, social media.
Oh, man, we were me and Mooch and Supersonic Station, we're playing fucking Star Trek VR the other night, PSVR, and it was absolutely a blast. I'm not kidding, man. It was so much fun, and PSVR just $199 now, apparently, I think, and I urge anybody that's riding the fence on that to get out there and pick one up while you can, because that's
I'm still not there yet.
Yeah, you're not there. It's just because you haven't tried it yet, bro.
Yeah, that's right. That's right too. I'm not. I don't know, man. I'm just not.
Play Battlefront and play the Star Wars Battlefront VR, and if that shit don't make you drop your drawers, then I'm telling you, nothing will. That is amazing.
All right. Well, we are running, so I'm going to continue with the subjects here. Top
Just go
dog.
till we run
VR
out.
gets everybody riled.
Ain't nobody turning this podcast upside down. I think that's pretty easily proven. So, hey, just so you know, the preview review was a 5 out of 10 for PUBG. Even in its current state before the patch, I would disagree with that. I mean, that's pretty bad. I didn't have that much.
I would give it like a
fun.
I think me a 65 for me.
Yeah, 65, 70 maybe when the match is at its best. But after this patch, it did make a difference. Believe it or not, just try it. Go in there, play 5 games. Tell me that a couple more of those weren't substantially more consistent.
Did the PC ever get a review?
No. Never
Oh,
did.
okay.
So you get what we're saying all day?
Yeah, I had to think about that for a second.
Yeah, it's designed to do something, and it did it. And
Of course, when they did, if they do review the PC version, it'll be on an i7 1080 Ti build with 16 gigs of RAM.
Right.
So it's like whatever.
And I want you to ask the guys who's playing on PC because I know quite a few of them, and they're running $1,000, $2,000 rigs, bro.
Yeah,
So,
I've heard both sides all day. I've heard people say it's running great on their PC, but they have like a $800,000 bill.
and they're not running it at 4K, probably a lot.
No, they're running at 1080p 60.
Got to remember that for some reason developers locked 4K. You know, I suggested temporarily bringing it down to 1440 or 1800p to maybe make sure the GPU was absolutely 0% of the bottleneck to make sure there's no load so they can figure out exactly what's happening.
But you're not really seeing that 4K. So, I mean, not now.
No, I know
You know what I'm saying? So it's, if they wanted, I think that they should have worked on trying to get the frame rates
Oh, of course.
better.
That's what I say. Lower resolution and try to get this performance up and stable.
dude, I wouldn't mind if this game didn't launch until February. You know what I mean? Or January. It didn't have to come out this quick.
So, final question for the chat on this topic. Do you really think, hearing everything kind of gone over swap perspectives, do you think that IGN really are super biased when it comes to this PUBG thing, man? I'm not too affected by it. I've got, a pretty thick skin. I see where they're coming from, but I don't think they did it in a tasteful way. There were performance issues, but it's a preview game. What the fuck are you going to do? So there's just a lot they don't say and mention. And I think, I guess the chat, you guys got a lot to say about it, obviously.
I don't appreciate Brendan Green saying that he saw it running at 60 FPS on the X the other day, and then he's ready to release the game in 8 days, and it runs like it does.
Right.
Something's weird there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when we're playing it, we've played a lot of games. I jumped off of Ghost Recon Wildlands to play a PUBG match with you guys, and I'm like, how does this game look and run this way on this console? It's just it doesn't make sense. Something's not right. These guys are doing the best they can. They're a small team. There's like a dozen of them, right? And maybe they don't know how to build a game like a 200-person team.
Well, you go look at Battlefront 2, one of the best-looking games of all time at 4K and double the frame rate, or even Wildlands with the equally huge map, or Fortnite on the same engine, everything, same mode. All of these games look dramatically better and perform substantially better. And that's all there is to it. There is no.
You can't blame Microsoft or the console or the hardware. It's just there's no way.
Do you think the S?
So funny people bash it that way.
Do you guys think that the S had something to do with it? To where that they wanted to make sure that both consoles ran. Because that was the rumors at first.
The X would be running. The X would be running like no problem. It'd be running 30 FPS without a single drop.
Well, yeah,
if that was the case, something is wrong with that build. There's no optimization at all. It seems like.
I think the people get it. I think a lot of them think IGN are biased, and I'm not going to go that far. I don't think they're being paid off by anybody, but I do think they did it distastefully. And like All Day pointed out, they didn't review it on the PC. They didn't do any of this trash on the PC version. They didn't do it to Arc or any other preview game. It is what it is, guys. I think we can move on.
Okay.
And just point out the fact that PS4 did take November 2017 MPD. They had their best month ever for PlayStation 4. And bear with us if you already heard this. So they beat themselves in November 2013, this Black Friday, this month. This last month was absolutely phenomenal for PlayStation. Quick thoughts on that, All Day?
It's great, man. It's healthy gaming. Keep it healthy. Eat your vitamins. But no, it's a good thing, man. Oh, drama cheese. It's a good thing. Xbox did well as well.
Yeah, we got the numbers too.
Yeah, and so did Nintendo Switch. I mean, it's healthy for gaming, bro. We want to keep seeing these good results and people out there spending $1 on stuff they enjoy.
Yeah, I think
console gaming is gigantic right now.
So they set a record for themselves, selling about 1.58 million in November alone, which is absolutely phenomenal. Xbox came in number 2 with an estimated 1.4 million. They said it was anywhere from 1.3 to 1.5 million. I'm just going to do the math, 1.4. And you know what? That's absolutely great, especially considering Xbox One X probably was at minimum 500,000 units of that at $500, and that actually led to Xbox bringing back the most revenue, meaning they brought back the most money, regardless of if they've invested in the platform. They got a lot of that back because they sold so much physical hardware. But both of them did absolutely phenomenally. I mean,
if you believe they broke even on the X, which that's probably true, I would think.
Oh yeah,
I'd put my bet on that they're breaking just about even, or making $1 or $2 on each X, and they sold a lot of S's.
Yeah, there's no statement from Microsoft saying that, hey, we took a loss on this. They might say we're not making anything on this. That could mean $2 to them.
You're thinking a third of those sales are X's? Is that what you're saying? Is that your guess?
I would say, man, 500,000. Yeah. Because analysts were doubling their predictions, right? They were saying it could be as high as 700,000 or whatever. So I don't know. I would say around 500,000. A lot of people bought this hardware. It well over outperformed the PS4 Pro in the UK in the first week. We all saw those numbers. It was pretty telling for a console that was $100 more. So I don't know. Any last thoughts on this mega noof? Anything?
For me, it's just like what all they said. It's just good for gaming. I gives 2 rats' asses about MPD numbers.
2 of them.
Yeah, it doesn't determine if I'm enjoying my Xbox. You know what I'm saying? For that being my primary console, is good for gaming. And the one thing I do have a issue with is why the hell would Microsoft have the Minecraft at 1S's for 400? If they drop that puppy down to maybe 300, 250, that thing would have sold like hotcakes. But again, they felt that they could pull that off, and I would like to, if anything, if there's any numbers I want to know, is how many of those sold, because $400 was ridiculous.
I agree with you, but I will say that is their most customized console ever. It's got the lights on the bottom and stuff, But you're right. They could have just destroyed with those,
And if somebody was asking me about buying an Xbox, I would really push them towards spending the extra money and getting the X. It is such an outstanding, just the whole deal.
Yeah, you might as well just invest a little more.
I mean, personally, I'm really happy for all the companies. I mean, this is good for any gamer, no matter which console you like, to see that there is growth in the industry when many people a few years ago were saying consoles are dead, nobody's going to want them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And year over year, and this year in particular, we're seeing massive growth. And it helps, of course, to have a new influx of hardware, whether it be the PS4 Pro, the Xbox One X, the Switch, et cetera. Those things keep driving the industry forward. It's the reason Nintendo makes a new 3DS every like 6 months, because they want to spur sales. So they pack it in, they dress it up, put a new dress on it or something like that, and it sells another 1,000 units, that sort of thing. But it's good for the industry overall. There's lots of games coming. But here's the thing, right? Well, I mean, the MPD numbers are great and fine, and it's a bragging point here and there. I mean, ultimately, it doesn't matter to anybody here on this panel or anybody in the chat, because we don't see any money from that. Unless you're a stockholder, you don't see shit. So honestly, that shouldn't matter. What should matter, yes, is to see growth and know that the more your console does sell, I mean, the more games it has the potential to sell. And that's all it is, potential to sell. Because as we were talking about earlier in the show, guys, exclusives, yes, they matter in terms of maybe which console ultimately you gravitate to. But at the same time, as we've seen by the MPD numbers on the games that are being sold right now, the popular ones are multiplats. People like the same old shit, unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever you want to look at. If you're great on Call of Duty and Madden, fantastic. But I mean, as far as the exclusives, and this goes for next year, guys, if you want them, get behind them. make sure that you do buy them. Don't always wait either till they're like $20 in the shelf, because these companies, to evaluate a product moving forward, they like to see sales, and they like to see it within a 3 to 6 month time period to figure out, hey, is this game worth investing on DLC? Is it a franchise we want to pursue in the future? That sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like the Cuphead devs right now, very pleased with the outpouring of support they've had for this game, and I bet you already they're like, yeah, sequel is doable. But if that game tanked right out of the gate because people just thought it was like a kid's game or whatever, I mean, there might be no sequel to Cuphead. You know what I'm saying? So get behind those games. Especially, PlayStation guys always bragging that, is 70 million consoles sold. Well, put your money where your mouth is and start upping those exclusive titles. Hellblade should have been selling 3 million copies easy, not 500,000 copies or whatever the hell it is. You know what I'm saying?
250 on the PlayStation. It was
there. You go.
Between that and PC.
And it's important to note too. It's not always about the length of the game. Right. Sometimes it's about that memory that it might give you, or that experience it might give you. Somebody just made a dick joke. Just remember that. Just remember that. Some games are too long, man. So you don't want some shit that drags on too long. You want a great experience that's memorable, that gives you a new perspective or a memory with gaming. And that's kind of why I liked Uncharted 4 a lot, or Rise of the Tomb Raider. Absolutely phenomenal. Even better on the X the second time through at 60. It was just, man, it just got better, man.
The slower sales of the Xbox compared to the PS4 over the years has kind of slowed down third-party support. And, like I've talked about many times, 2013, 14, 15, 16, it was pretty even between PS4 and Xbox. But 2017, like, Xbox just came off their best lineup in history, right? That was their mantra last year. Mm-hmm. And PlayStation came in 2017 with, like, a whole bunch of games. And a lot of those games should have or could have come to Xbox, and they didn't. And as long as the Xbox is selling well and selling really well, it will start to get third-party support. Capcom, companies like that, publishers like that should be pushing their games onto as many platforms as possible.
Yeah, I agree. And one other thing is that with 2017 for the Xbox, remember it was starting in December. I think that's when the news came out about Fable Legends getting Lionhead Studios getting shut down, and so Fable Legends was done. Then, of course, the big one, which was Scalebound, which was very disappointing to me. And then, of course, Crackdown, Sea of Thieves, State of Decay, all three of those games getting delayed until next year. I mean, if you just think if all those games came out for Xbox for 2017, we would have a different outlook of what's going on, especially with the X hitting in November, and just thinking of those games getting X enhanced, it would have been amazing. But if those games was broken, and like I've been said, if I've seen my dragon on Scalebound doing the damn moonwalk or the MC typewriter, then it's all null and void anyway, because it would, they would get ripped. So, and then of course PUBG on top of that. So you got to look at it it was just a bad year for Xbox, because a lot of people didn't. Because of the delays and the cancellations, man. But
you know what wins for Xbox at the end of the year is these enhanced games have totally won me over this year. How do you guys feel about some of these games that have been enhanced on the Xbox?
They're great, man.
Pretty cool. I'm playing a bunch of them.
Yeah. I want to get a few more questions in from the RDX chat real quick, if you got a few more lined up for us, man. Okay. Thanks to the super chat again, guys. You guys are fucking crazy. You're amazing. Thank you so much. The support is awesome.
Yeah, and shout out to my boy,
like he just fell inside of a grave.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome.
Jack, Rachel Maddow's on. I know I got to record it right now. I'm looking dead at her right now.
You have a phone, right? Jesus Christ.
What you mean I got a phone?
Hey, what do you got for us, Colt?
Jack's opinion asks, what if the next Forza, which would be Forza Horizon, would have modes similar to Mario Kart or Twisted Metal Racing Battle Royale?
No. Please, no. God, no.
I think that kind of goes against Forza. I think it's kind of counterproductive.
Just make Twisted Metal Horizon.
All we need is a fucking cop. That's it.
What if Forza Horizon had that mode built into it, though? Like
no,
that
man.
I don't want no Mario Kart. What, me shooting a damn?
No, wait. Hold on. What? Blur was really dope. So let's not.
Yeah, Blur was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Who was that question from?
Jack's opinion.
Thank you so much for your question, bud. Yeah, I'm not so sure, man. Maybe they could figure something else out on that one.
Just Just bring cops and robbers. Yeah,
Cops are absolutely necessary in the next.
Bring the authorities. Fuck.
Just bring back a Twisted Metal. PlayStation, get on it. Let's bring it. I want to see, Sweet Tooth or what I'm saying, Thumper. Bring them back.
What's the next question?
Grim.
Sig Larson wants to
Grimm,
know: is Xbox going to bring AR or VR in 2018?
Hopefully.
I don't think so.
No clue. That was one of the.
I'd say no, but I expect it within the next 2 years, and I definitely expect it when Microsoft launches whatever next console they have. I think there's too much money on the table to leave it out. And again, as long as VR doesn't become mandatory, it's always an optional accessory that you can try, then great. I mean, I don't know why people get so up in arms about VR too. People that haven't even tried, even like VR is trash. Well, you know what the thing is? It's not meant to replace our traditional games. I don't know why people get offended about it. It's just an add-on. It's an accessory.
Another platform. That's all.
Experience is richer.
It's an option, right? Nothing wrong with options.
I just would have
I think
to
I was
wonder
I was the only guy on Xbox Nation, I think, earlier this year or last year, saying that Microsoft definitely would not focus on VR in year one. I don't know if they'll do that with year two. I think they're still waiting for those experiences to arrive. For people like you and I to be like, I have to have this, So at the end of the day, it's an experience. You probably don't want to sit there with a helmet on your head for hours, But hey,
I just wonder if the base Xbox One would not be able to even run AR or VR, and they can't bring it to the X and leave out.
No, they were actually going to compromise on that. They announced that before that it would not be coming to the base Xbox or the S. So VR can still happen on the X. No one ever said it wouldn't, and it'll definitely do VR better than any other console out there. We'll have to wait and see. But you got another question for us before we move on to this topic?
Yeah, some of this stuff we've already covered. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, we probably did run through a lot of it. A lot of questions.
Dealer, this one's for Dealer. William Ellis asks, "Hey, Dealer, do you think we'll ever see a time when someone from the mainstream media really acknowledges that the X is the best place to play?"
There's a lot of different perspectives there. It depends on what you like, right? In general, it's the best place to play. All the multiplats, the vast majority will play better, right? Right. But if you like Japanese style games, it's not the best place to play. Or third person action adventure games, it's probably not the best place to play. If you like racers or third person or first person shooters, it's definitely the best place to play. So it all comes down to it. But I think I know what he's getting at is, we just want a little more validity from some of these guys, and maybe we will. I think it'll depend on what Microsoft come out with this year and next year. That's going to change people's outlook and their attitude towards the platform. So I did want to talk about this new tech that Microsoft are working on that allows you to actually connect to your friends on Xbox Live through your cell phone. So you're going to be able to actually join parties and talk to your friends through your fucking cell phone. I think this is pretty interesting. I might actually use this occasionally. I don't know. I just thought this was worth bringing up because it's pretty interesting to me.
I just feel like they're taking this. I mean, Discord has become crazy, in terms of connecting with your friends and being able to chat on the go and text and all that. So I think they're just trying to dabble into that market because on Discord you can do that already. So I feel like
I might be able to hop into a party. Like, let's say I'm chilling somewhere and it's like I'm on a phone call, but I'm in a party with, some of you fuck faces, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool feature. So
let us know in the chat if you would use this feature, the ability, some technology they're implementing to where you're going to be able to actually talk to your friends on Xbox Live from your phone in a party chat on your phone. I think that's pretty damn interesting. I think it's cool. I think it's worth doing.
You probably won't be in that party long because that battery, that's just going to drain your phone.
Maybe, but I don't think it'll be any worse than Skype. Or
I have noticed the party chat has been a lot better in the past couple months. I've been on it.
Yeah. So, hey, we got to start to wrap this shit up.
You're damn right, man.
We're not getting to that magical 15-hour mark like some podcasts, but we did take pretty far. I do want to say thanks to everybody who supported the show over the past year. You guys are absolutely phenomenal. This is our last show of 2017. A lot of opinions, best games, worst games, etc. We're glad you guys were here for the ride. Please hit that like button one final time to kind of help this podcast out, get it out there a little more. And, of course, I want to start with the outros. Once again, K-Mega, thanks for joining us late, man. Where can people find you, man?
I mean, you can find me on my channel, KMegaFold5. Also, you can catch me on Twitter. It's at KMega4. And then, of course, man, every Friday night, man, you could well, not this year. That last Friday was the last show of the year, but of 2017. But yeah, you can catch the GRG podcast every Friday night. It's 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, and 5:30 Pacific. So Europe and all that other shit, I don't know, man. Sorry. But, hey, man, so much and appreciate you for having me on, man.
No problem.
So it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, man. It's great.
I think I'm scheduled to come on to the GRG here in the next couple of weeks, right? So
absolutely, yeah. You're gonna start off the new year. Yeah.
So yeah, catch me on Mega's channel in a couple of weeks. Easy man. We appreciate it, man. Comments like those, you don't know how much we appreciate the support. Everybody's still here, knowing that we're just going to talk about ourselves for a minute, where the fuck we're at, what we're doing. You're still here, 440 people. That's awesome. We appreciate it. It means you care, and we do take notice of that kind of stuff. So once again, Mega, thanks for joining. Noof, thanks for coming on as well, man. We kind of had a schedule change or a lineup change, and you made it. We do appreciate it, man. Where can we?
I always try to step in where I can, man. I always love coming on the RDX podcast. You guys are fantastic people. Love this panel all day. K Mega, Colt Eastwood. I know there's a lot of awesome people that couldn't be here tonight, like Luca and Fonzarelli and stuff. But hey, man, and Southbound. I don't know. I hardly ever see Southbound here, but yeah, lots of great people out there as well that couldn't be here. But it's always fun to be on a panel with you guys. Always great discussions, and everybody up in the chat, you guys rock too. So thanks for having me here, Dealer. Appreciate it. And anytime you need me to step in, man, I'll be putting on my big boy shoes.
Yeah, Southbound, for those curious, when he's not here, it's because his work schedule is pretty hectic. So sometimes he can get off a little early, sometimes he can't. And, if we tag him, it's because we're hoping he can be here, but here lately I'm just kind of hitting him up saying, hey, you're going to be able to make it, bud? And, that's how that works. That's why that is how that is. So same thing with All Day.
So be grateful. Be grateful when he's
here.
All
Day, thanks for joining us, bud. I know you're tired. We're all tired. We're all super tired. I haven't slept since yesterday. Thanks for joining us, man. Where can people find you?
Yeah, man. It's the God Neutral. The greatest
shit out of here, man.
It's the
man.
greatest anti-hero alive.
The fucking fraud.
You can find me.
Everyone type fraud in the chat.
Listen, you can find me on Twitter. allday_digital. 2017 has been a revelation, and it's been great. See you next year.
Oh my God! Even faded away from the mic. Oh man, Colt, man, thanks for joining us as you always do. Very reliable podcast member. You're always here, just like Luca. This is Luca's first time missing, for those wondering. So she will be back our next show. Colt, where can people find you, brother?
You can find me at Colt Eastwood on YouTube or Colt Eastwood on Twitter. I'm more neutral than All Day.
Oh wow!
No way! No way!
I know. Very few true neutrals.
Yeah, no, that's true. There are very few true neutrals. Find me on Xbox Live. We'll play PUBG and we'll just have fun.
Yeah, and like I said, we do this every week with the exception of next week because of the holiday. We got to say that over and over because people are constantly joining. We will not be here next week, but the week after, business as usual. And, of course, if you want to participate in the RDX Live show question of the day, follow me at dealer_gaming. I have a post there every week. And, of course, Xbox Live at II_dealer_II on Xbox Live to add me there. And once again, thanks to everyone, the patrons, all you guys who sponsor the show. If you want to become a patron, of course, that link will be down below as well. But anyways, we are out, guys.
Before you go, I got one more thing to do because I always do this, man.
Intro Media, you got to shout out.
Big shout out to Intro Media Gaming, the BGST, the Next Podcast, and the Multiplayer Pack Podcast, man. Shout out to all them.
You do a lot of podcasts, bro.
I do a lot of podcasts. And when your ass hit me up, you or Crap asked me to, ask me, hey, you want to do it? I'm like, damn.
I'll make it a 17th podcast.
Yeah, I'll do 20. I got all day on my back talking about, don't play no games, fraud. I'm watching you. So anyway.
Hey, if anybody wants to play PUBG, we're not calling it PUBG anymore. Just say, hey, do you want to die? That's all you got to do. I know what you're talking about.
Hey, you want to go die? Yeah, sure. You run over. How
go
you
look
die?
at
You
around
want
in
to
a
pick up some
rusty
clothes with me tonight? You want to pick up some clothes?
I'm gonna go look for backpacks and an old beat up bathtub.
You want to go pick up some clothes?
Hey, you want to play the Easter simulator? All right.
You
Hey,
want
remember
to
we
pick
got
up
that-
20 attachments you can't use?
We got in that Land Cruiser last night and it didn't have a front wheel, and we're like, well, let's make it happen.
Man. There's more unusable attachments in PUBG than at a fucking porn shop.
Oh, yeah. You had to get one out. All right, that's our sign. We're out, guys. Thank you
Happy
so much.
New Year, y'all.
Hit that like
Peace.
button if
Merry
you're
Christmas,
still here.
everybody.
Happy
Hit that like
holidays.
button.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Sam, we're out.
Fucking cowards.
Holidays.
Yeah, all
Merry
days of
Christmas,
fraud.
happy holidays.
Frauds.
See you later,
All they
cowards.
eat hot dogs.